We're looking for happiness, but what we really probably just need is a decent project and something to grab our attention.
We offer a lawnmower lending service, and they have to get in their car, they have to drive to us, they put the lawnmower in the boot of their car, they drive home, they mow their lawns, and they have to return it again. You know, we walk to our shed.
Yeah.
And so, you know, so it's actually, it completely obliterates that thought that there was laziness present.
Welcome back to the podcast. Today I am super stoked to have with me Renee Hanna from the Good Neighbour. What is it, the Good Neighbour what? Good Neighbour Trust?
It's Good Neighbour.
Good Neighbour.
Good Neighbour.
Not even
Neighbour.
the Good Neighbour, just Good Neighbour.
Good
I
Neighbour.
love that.
Yeah.
And this podcast is called the That's Fire podcast, which I don't know whether you know, Renee, but I learnt this a while back, that That's Fire is like Gen Z language for something that's cool or hot or awesome or good.
So you're right up with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice.
But I also couldn't think of anything that's gooder than Good Neighbour.
Yeah, fair enough.
There you go. So why don't you just start off, just tell us a little bit about, because most of the people that I interview are business leaders or business or service. I interviewed an Olympian the other day.
Nice.
But tell us a little bit about Good Neighbour, because it's quite different to that.
Yeah, it is quite different to that. Basically, Good Neighbour, we are a charity in Tauranga City, and we exist to help bring the city together to transform our community.
Right.
A big part of what we believe in is that if we could provide proper practical type opportunities, people are able to jump on board and all play their own part.
Right.
For some it might be volunteering, for others it might be financially, but we've all got a responsibility to transform our city.
Yeah.
And so that's a big part of what we are, is just providing the vehicle, providing the way for people to do that.
So what does that look like? To explain, like, what type of people are you working with? What do their lives look like, and how are you practically sort of connecting with that?
Well, we try and provide things for every walk of life, every age, every gender, every background.
Yeah.
We have over 300 volunteers to make happen what we do.
Okay.
And so a lot of our volunteers are people that have retired or no longer need to work. Yeah. Or maybe just work part-time.
Right.
And so they use their time to volunteer.
Yeah.
And we've got people that have been in business, very successful business people, but just want to be still active, still giving back.
Nice.
We have people that have received our help, and so because they've been transformed, they want to be a part of Good Neighbour.
Yeah.
We have kids that volunteer. We have like homeschool mums that come out to like our community gardens and they give back that way. We have all types of people that are volunteering. Yeah. And then we also have a business community that's a part of what we do. Right. And so we have quite a few people that are involved by sponsorship. Yeah. But what we always try and do is make it go beyond sponsorship. Yeah. It's a partnership to us. It's not just about the money. It's actually about, hey, what does it look like to be fully a part of transforming our community? Right. That's cool. Yeah. So corporate volunteering opportunities, all of those kinds of things as well. Yeah. But we try and have events that bring people together and create community connection as well. Yeah, yeah. So we try and exist for the whole community. Yeah. So probably not very targeted. Yeah. But So
okay. So you've got community gardens, you're growing vegetables and things like that. Yeah. What other types of things are you doing?
So we have our firewood depot, which is out sort of rural, and we truck logs that are coming in from the port that are not fit for purpose. Okay. And so we basically rescue those logs. That would have
rescue. Okay.
Log rescue, quite literally. It would have been in like landfill.
Really?
And and so we take them out to our firewood depot. Yeah. We have teams out there that are chopping them down.
Chopping the wood up for people's homes.
People's homes.
Nice.
So we have, it goes to homes in need where they couldn't warm up their home otherwise.
Brilliant. That's so good.
Yeah, and we also sell it publicly as part of a way of funding Good Neighbour.
Oh, yeah.
So we're producing about 500 cubes a year.
Decent. Man, I almost burn that every year here.
Yeah, I think it would probably be like your whole supply.
Yeah,
but
not quite, but sometimes it feels like it.
Yeah, totally.
That's awesome.
So we have Firewood Depot. We also have a food rescue department. So we're rescuing $4.8 million worth of food. from all over Western Bay.
So you're rescuing food. So just explain how are you rescuing, where are you rescuing it from?
So we partner with supermarkets all over Western Bay, and also other places like Bid Foods, cafes, restaurants, growers, wherever we can get hands on surplus food. We have trucks that are going out 5 days a week, picking it all up, bringing it in. It's about 3 tonnes every day, comes into our depot, where we have a team of 100 that are constantly sorting out the food, putting it into boxes ready to go out to charities.
Do they eat most of it?
Well, there is we have a volunteer shelf, so it's a little bit of a perk of volunteering in that.
People don't need chocolate.
There's a few treats, but for the most part, it goes out to homes in need. So we partner with over 80 charities to make sure it gets to where it's most needed.
Wow.
So that
sounds like a massive.
Oh, it's a big,
massive sort of.
A lot of moving
people
parts.
Doing different things.
Yeah.
Man, good luck with that.
It sort of reaches about 6,500 people every week, just in terms of how many it's feeding. Like that source of food in Tauranga is massive.
That's so good.
Yeah.
So the food, I've spoken of, you've got the food, you've got the food rescue, the firewood rescue.
Yeah. And then we have a kitchen, commercial kitchen.
Yeah.
So we're pumping out hundreds of meals every week. It's going into homes where maybe there's health issues, reasons why it's hard to cook.
Yeah.
It's not just about access to food.
Yeah.
It's difficult to cook.
Yeah,
so,
right.
So we have that going out into the community as well.
Yeah.
We also have a fruit picking team. So our fruit picking team are going into backyards, people's homes, picking those trees that you just can't quite get to.
Yeah.
And last year we picked 36,000 kilograms of fruit that would have been wasted in the ground.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So that goes out through our food rescue distribution as well, just to get it into the right homes. So we have that. We also have a rangatahi program, so a youth program.
Okay.
And so we're working with schools, high schools, that are have students that are struggling to stay engaged in school, and because of that, they're at a place at high risk of either dropping out or being kicked out. And unfortunately, the stats show that within about 2 weeks, they're likely to end up in some kind of crime and then eventually in the justice system. So our goal is to try and partner with the school to build some sort of resilience, a purpose, a reason for being in school. We give them life skills, teach them how to cook, how to budget, how to bank. We help them to see different careers that could be an option to them. Basically, they come to us being told their whole lives that they'll amount to nothing. So why would you be in school if you're going to amount to nothing, right? So you try and change that narrative. And so we have that program. We have a volunteer into employment program where we use our volunteer opportunities to help people move from benefit dependency and into employment, try and remove some of the barriers that exist for them. We also have our backyard projects teams. So
Gosh, just in case you didn't have enough going on.
Just another thing. So they're going into people's backyards. Overgrown backyards, stuff that are just like very overwhelming situations for people. They could be in that place because of a lack of resource. They don't own, can't afford to own things like a lawnmower. It could be that they've had a massive health crisis and they don't have the money to get the help in. And so we come, we clear it all out, and then we work with them to find a plan of how they can keep doing it, and that it would be sustainable independently of us. We have a lawnmower lending program, so that we basically have a library of equipment that people can come in and actually do it themselves if it's a resource issue. So we sort of, we do a number of things. And so as you can see, there's a lot of opportunity for people to come together to actually help others. Which is a big part of why we do what we do as well.
And that's, like I was just thinking, often people just don't know where to start. People want to help, and often people don't help because they don't know how to help.
That's right.
And so the great thing is, with Good Neighbour, it's just one example, and maybe things like this are happening all over the world, I don't know, but is that they can ring up, and if they're prepared to volunteer, you've got 5 or 6 different ways they could help.
That's right. There's literally something for everyone. So whether you
good.
want to be in the kitchen, whether
Yeah.
you want to be in food rescue
Yeah.
or out at the firewood depot, we
Yeah.
have retired forest workers and
Right.
builders, and and they're able to get on these big machines and have a whole lot of fun.
Yeah.
We're very big around food, so
Yeah.
there's food everywhere. So we always bring the volunteers together over lunch,
Yeah, nice.
over smoko,
Yeah.
so
So
food
good.
everywhere.
Yeah.
We really do believe food is often at the heart of everything.
Community.
Heart of
Totally.
the community, and that's a big part of what we're aiming to do is create that community
Yeah.
connection.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's so. Wasn't aware. I mean, obviously, I've been aware of Good Neighbour for a while.
Yeah.
Wasn't aware of all of that, and I think for our audience, I think, I mean, a lot of them are business people,
Yeah.
and a lot of people think that business people don't care.
Yeah.
There's this idea that business is harsh and horrible, and we're just all about
Right.
making money, and
Yeah.
but actually, you kind of have to care to
Yeah.
succeed.
Absolutely.
And you end up being aware of issues in your community because your staff are out of your community. So I think people are really interested in general in making the world better.
Yeah.
And the world's very political.
Yes.
We're probably less polarising in New Zealand than we are in Australia, than the likes of the States, where you're either left or right.
Yes.
You're
yeah.
either, one or the other, and
Yeah.
you're actually the enemy if you're the other,
Yeah.
We can be like that in New Zealand, I guess. And I find that in amongst all of that, we actually, if we focus on that too much, we just lose our compassion for people.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, I'm not trying to talk about me now, but we are involved. We have a charity that's involved in our community, and the best thing it does is probably connects me with a part of the community that I am not naturally connected with.
Yeah, that's right.
And man, it's just so helpful
Yeah.
for me
Yeah.
in terms of being thankful and being grateful, but also feeling like I can make a difference.
Absolutely, that's what we've actually found. There are so many people out there. Like, it's not a heart issue. People want to help.
Yeah.
They just often don't know how to actually reach those people in need.
Yeah.
And I think that's where we've got to close the divide between business and charity.
Yeah.
Charity becomes the bridge.
That's so good.
Yeah.
Because as you were talking, and I was listening, I'm thinking of conversations that I've had, which are something like, the government needs to do this more.
Oh, yeah.
The government needs to do that more.
Yeah.
And what I've said to those people often is, what can you do?
Absolutely.
And they just look at me and go, no, it's about the government needs to do more handouts. So the government, and it's constantly like, no, if you care about it, then you got to do something.
Yeah.
And I think what I hadn't thought of is with the likes of Good Neighbour is there must be so many opportunities for people to pick up the phone to a good neighbour and get plugged in.
Absolutely.
Start using those skills and those passions. And
I agree completely. I think that it's like we really believe that it's everyone's responsibility.
Yeah.
And as soon as we try and say, the government just need to do more, we've just lost the point completely of humanity.
Yeah. True.
We all need to make an effort to connect with our community.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's just looking for people that are already doing that.
Yeah.
Jumping on board of that, because together we make a profound impact.
Yes.
If we all try and do it individually, we're only going to get so far.
Yeah.
But if we come together,
and
that's what it's about. And so, and like everything that Flare Fires believes in as well, in terms of that community connection and bringing people together, that's what it actually takes to transform a community. That's what it takes to meet the need out there.
Yeah. We fostered kids when our kids were young.
Yeah.
And it was our way to expose our children.
Yeah.
It was all we could do at the time because we had no money. You know?
Yeah.
But we could open a home.
Yeah.
But the side benefit is our kids learnt learnt how the other half lived, and they learnt how to serve.
Yeah.
And they learnt that there was a world outside of their own.
Yeah.
And I often think of that when parents are struggling with their kids. What I guess the best advice, the advice that I don't think anyone would take probably, but the best advice would be go and take your kids and do something in the community.
Yeah, absolutely agree completely. It changes a posture in a person's life.
Yeah.
If you can live outwardly, you are going to live a more healthy life.
Yeah.
You just are.
Yeah.
You're not going to get too consumed in your own struggles and
Yeah.
in your own world.
Yeah.
And you're going to be able to see outward and actually be a part of making a difference.
Yeah.
Which is, it's a privilege to be able to make a difference in someone else's life.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And if you can expose your kids to it,
Yeah.
that's the best thing.
And potentially with screens and stuff, it's even now
Yeah.
trying to get your kids to think outside of themselves and outside of their little world, and their problems seem so big to them.
Yeah.
But I was listening to this is off track. I was listening to a podcast the other day, and there was some guy who studies human behaviour, and he was talking about how in the past our problems were very real, you know.
Yeah.
Are we going to be able to eat? Where is our next meal going to come from? Am I going to lose my kid to some kind of disease?
Yeah.
You know, that's why they used to have so many kids, is because they would lose so many.
Yeah.
And it's not, and so now we just replace all those big problems with lots of little ones.
Yeah, right.
You know, oh man, can I buy that new pair of Nikes?
So true. Yeah.
Have I got a new dress?
Yes.
And I need that new phone, and all these sort of first world problems.
Totally. Yeah.
And I'm off track, but it's just that we all need a bit of a wake-up call, and I find being close to the community, the closer I get to the world around me, the actual real world where people are struggling, it helps me just be a bit more grateful for what I have. And,
Absolutely.
You know,
It's like we talk about sort of being able to help and wanting to help, but it's actually not until you get close enough to the community that you can actually understand the kind of help that's needed and how to help. And, you know, like, for example, it's very common for someone just to assume that if there's a big overgrown backyard, that there must be laziness or whatever. And yet we meet people that their issue is to put food on the table. So there's no way they could own a lawnmower, maintain a lawnmower, fuel a lawnmower when they're struggling to buy some bread for the table. So it's like, so we throw what we think, you know, helps at the community, but actually until you get amongst it, until you listen, truly listen, you can only be as helpful as your own personal knowledge. Yeah.
That's so true, eh? Like, you can look at a person and judge them, look at their backyard, look at their life, look at their struggle, and just not understand it. And then once you hear their story, all of a sudden your perspective completely shifts.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think we're so polarised at the moment that, they're lazy, or no, they're not lazy, they just need more government money. And what's missing is actually a genuine, what is the person's story, and how what do they really need, and how can we bridge that gap? Yeah,
and we can see that, like, you know, even just that laziness principle. We offer a lawnmower lending service, and they have to get in their car, they have to drive to us, they put the lawnmower in the boot of their car, they drive home, they mow their lawns, and they have to return it again. You know, we walk to our shed. And so, you know, so it completely obliterates that thought that there was laziness present. It was a lack of the ownership of a mower. And so it's just, it's like giving people a chance.
So it's not, you're saying a lot of them aren't lazy, they literally just can't afford the $400 mower.
Or to maintain it if it breaks down, or
all of that, put fuel in it, service it. That's so true. Things that we just take for granted.
We just take things for granted. That's right.
So, Renee, how did this come about? How did the Good Neighbour come about?
It's a cool story. So 13 years ago, there was a guy, actually it was 14 years ago, there was a guy by the name of Campbell Hill. And he was a pastor at a church, and he felt like he wanted to spend more of his time in the community helping people than organising sort of church life. It just felt like where he was drawn to. So he gave up his job. He created a window washing business to provide for his family, and one day a week he basically would read the paper. He would turn up where he saw the need, and he would do whatever he could to help. somebody saw him and was like, you need to be doing more of that. So he was
Yeah.
the first funder, and he's actually on our board still to this day.
So good.
A really great businessman in
Yeah.
Tauranga. And so he funded him to do more days, and it just
Yeah.
sort of grew. This team of 10 kind of came together
Yeah.
and thought, well, there's something in this.
Yeah.
So Campbell actually grew up in Fiji, and they actually then thought, why don't we go to Fiji and we can build, they needed a new medical centre, and they
Yeah.
could sort of help out very practically over there. While they were over there, and sort of the intention was perhaps we're going to set up some sort of charity in Fiji. But what they experienced in Fiji was that as soon as they started to do this work, the community all came together, whether they community in need, community that had resource, everybody from all walks of life came together and started to help them do all of this great work in Fiji.
Yeah.
And so then they were like, well, what if we brought this to Tauranga? What if New Zealand could be like Fiji,
Right.
where if something existed that would bring people together, we
Yeah.
could actually change things properly.
Right.
And so they did that, and that was Good Neighbour. That was 13 years ago, actually only 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And we turned 13, and
Nice, good job.
yeah, and so and that's where it started. And so it started with the backyard projects.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
then this idea of rescuing food started to be explored, so
Yeah.
that was happening, and it just kept growing and growing. And the sort of the wraparound care support that we now provide came out of an extension of all the practical work,
Yeah.
which is because as you help someone practically, and as you actually rescue people out of a very difficult situation, and you bring that relief, there's a natural trust and relationship that gets built.
Yeah.
And so what was happening was they were leaning in and sort of like, well, how else can I make adjustments in my life to change my trajectory? And
Yeah.
so,
Nice.
and that's where that wraparound care sort of side of Good Neighbour came about. So,
Yeah.
yeah, it's sort of been an evolving process over 13 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's very, very good.
Yeah.
Well, being 13 years old, that's not a lot of organisations don't last that long.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So that's awesome.
Yeah.
Congratulations. That's so good.
Yeah. Thanks.
I was thinking about community, thinking about people in need and the need for purpose in people's lives.
Yeah.
I often talk about purpose on these podcasts, but I was actually thinking about fireplaces the other day because we're all about purpose. Fireplaces help. Often when a couple want a fireplace, it's not that they want the fireplace, they're trying to achieve something else.
Yeah.
It might be they just want their backyard to look amazing, but actually it's often they're trying to create a place together.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Maybe they're trying to create not just a centerpiece for their backyard, but for their family, for their kids to connect, less screen time, all the rest of it.
Yeah.
And then I was thinking, yeah, we all actually, if you go right back into caveman days, maybe, or before the caveman is probably not, we think of the Neanderthals or whatever. I'm thinking more of back in the day when people would light a fire outside and gather around it.
Yeah.
They were often on a journey.
Yeah.
They were heading somewhere.
Yeah.
There was a purpose, and the fireplace is what they did at the end of the day to cook food, to connect, to tell stories, to keep warm. It's a bit abstract to this question, but how much of the struggles you engage with in the community are a result of a lack of purpose? And do you find that what you do helps them to capture a brighter vision for their lives?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say I'm going to throw out 80% because what I've seen is just that it's the cycles as well. It's generation to generation to generation of being passed on this idea that you've got no way of making it in this world. You've got nothing to offer. And if you look at your parents or your grandparents and where we've always headed, it's involved prison. It's involved living off a benefit. And we work with young people that just don't know what it looks like to have parents that work. But their parents didn't know what it looked like to have parents that worked.
Right.
And so the lack of purpose is an extreme situation. It's beyond the thought that purpose is about helping others or having another reason to live.
Yeah.
We're talking about a lack of purpose to even work to provide for your own family.
Right.
And so there becomes this cycle. And so, like even the young people that come towards us, when the idea that there is a pathway for them to add value in our society is just completely non-existent. And so without that, you've got all this challenge at school, and maybe reading and writing doesn't come naturally anyway. And so why would you be there if you've been told you're not going to be working anyway and you're not going to amount to anything? And so that then creates further problems, because now we're bored, we've got no jobs, so we get into crime.
Yes.
And then we've got all the domestic issues and alcohol-related issues and all of those things. And it just spirals. And so obviously that's not for everyone, but a lot of people, they come from that background. And if we can show them that life could be different, and that opportunities are out there for them, and if we can advocate for those people instead of sort of finding it just too overwhelming, lives can be changed.
So how does Good Neighbour help bring purpose to people?
First of all, whenever we help somebody, the conversation is always about how can we help you get to the point where you can help yourself.
Got it.
So we always work to make sure that there's no reliance being created.
Yeah.
So we operate with a hand up, not hand out.
Okay.
And so when someone comes to you and says, "Here we go, we're going to give you that food because your family are starving right now. So let us give you that food, but let us also give you the support to change that completely."
Yeah.
Then there's this ability to walk alongside someone and actually make those changes. And as they can see that actually this is working, they're going to start engaging with you in even a deeper way.
Okay.
And so it's all about relationship. That's what it comes down to.
Have you got a story that you could tell of purpose, of someone who's captured a brighter vision for themselves?
I have so many stories.
Okay, great. Tell me a story. And by the way, do you want, we've got sparkling water?
Yeah,
I've got Almighty, whatever that is.
I'll go with one of these. They look good.
And we could make a coffee if you want a coffee.
Oh, wonderful.
Or...
Yeah, no, this is great.
Okay.
Thank you.
Awesome.
So there is a young boy that went through our youth program.
Yeah.
And he came to us, and he had been told, that really he was heading towards prison. That's where your brothers have been. That's where your father's been.
Right.
That's where you're going. And he was at a place of full acceptance of that.
Was he working?
No, he was supposed to be in school, but never in school.
Okay.
Hence why he was with us.
Yeah.
And so through life skills, through someone entering into his life, believing in him, he was able to start believing in himself.
Right.
And we helped him get his driver's license. Okay. All the boys that come through our program end up with a forklift license,
right.
Barista training, things that can help them get jobs.
And credits at school?
Yeah, we help them with NCEA credits, so we get, so they go further ahead with that.
Yeah.
But he, in the process of being with us, he said, "I've realised where I want to be. It's not behind bars, but it's in front of bars." And so he wanted to become a security guard in the courts.
I thought you were going to say like a pub.
No.
Pub.
Thankfully, no.
Yeah.
So now he's a security officer.
Oh, wow.
And he's working his way up to being a security guard at the courts.
So good.
He works in a local mall, and he's an incredible guy. We learnt just the other day of this. It was actually his mum that wrote in and said thank you. He was, heading in a direction that's not great, and now he travels the world as a really successful chef.
Wow.
He found in our kitchen that actually he could cook.
Wow.
And that was his pathway for life. And so now he is a successful chef. So he went from what everyone said going nowhere.
Yeah.
He was more in fights than he was at school, and
That's fascinating. So I want to test a thought on this. And I don't think I can tell this story actually, because in case the people are watching.
Yeah.
All I will say is I've seen people helped with free accommodation or with lots of handouts, and you think you're doing them a favour,
Yeah.
and their life just gets worse.
Yeah.
And I've seen people invest into families for years, helping hand out every day, every month for years and years and years, and just no improvement, no purpose. It just, in fact, de-escalated. Things got worse and worse and worse. It sounds like the people that have benefited, the two stories that you've told, had to work at something.
Yeah.
They had to contribute.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
I have this theory that hard work is actually really, really good for us.
Absolutely.
Resistance, we all benefit from resistance, and actually we're looking for happiness, but what we really probably just need is a decent project and something to grab our attention.
Yeah,
right?
Absolutely.
So that's my theory. Is that kind of what you're saying? Is that because you're engaging people in activity? I guess not all your work's engaging people, because you are just sometimes giving them free wood or whatever.
Yeah, so even our wood, for example, so either the person who's receiving the wood or a representative from their family if health is a challenge or something like that, they actually have to come and help us stack the wood.
Right.
And so every single thing we do, we avoid the hand out.
I love it.
If someone receives food from us, they can receive food. That immediate crisis is sort of diverted, so we'll pass on food.
Yeah.
But then they don't get another food pack until they meet with a budget mentor.
Nice.
So no matter what we do, we make sure that there's some part that they will play to meet their need as well and help to address some of those underlying needs. But even with the boys that go through our youth program, like the two that I just mentioned, a big part of being in the Good Neighbour community, and I guess what helps us be successful with these boys is they're not just sort of doing their own program.
Yeah.
They're actually helping out other people, and they're seeing that they actually can make someone's day, and that they can be a positive member in society.
Yeah.
And
that's massive, eh?
Oh, that's huge.
That's you can't actually put a price on that awareness that actually I have value because I'm adding value to someone else.
Absolutely.
Is there any other stories you want to share just while we're on that? Can you think of another story? Yeah.
Oh, stories everywhere.
Oh, great.
We've got a lady who is, she came to Good Neighbour, just really, really isolated. Her mental health had been a real struggle for her whole life. She doesn't really remember past when she was a young child ever wanting to live.
Wow.
And so life has been a significant challenge.
Yeah.
What I love about her story is it wasn't anything that we did for her. It was actually her volunteering with us.
Right,
it was her belonging to a community doing good things that has changed her whole story. She's gone from a person without a will to live to a person with something to live for. She comes and helps every day, 5 days a week.
Yeah.
And she is just a huge part of what we do.
Yeah.
And she's become, she's grown even in leadership. It's something she could never see for herself.
Yeah, right.
She was a person that would be walking around with her head down the whole time.
Yeah.
Now her head's up and she's able to direct people and tell people what to do in the most beautiful way. She's incredible testament to what it looks like just by belonging and the healing that can come for someone by just being in a community who cares. Yeah.
She's in a community that cares, but she's also working in that community.
She is working, she's giving back, she's got purpose. Once again, it comes to purpose again. Yeah.
Man, that's really challenging.
Yeah.
Just because we have a charity as well, and I'm just rethinking some of the stuff we do. But gosh, you have a sense of what percentage of charity work do you think is really just a handout versus engaging them in something where they might find some purpose? Well, that's hard to measure, but
it's hard to measure, but unfortunately, it's far too much.
Yeah.
I think, unfortunately, and a big part of that as well is it takes work to provide opportunities to help others.
Yeah.
That's not an easy thing, and so for some charities, their focus is not that. That's not their mission, and so having those volunteer opportunities is hard.
Oh, man. I've got an idea for you. I reckon
okay.
Good Neighbour should start a charity consulting service.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just thinking of even of the one we do.
Yeah.
You know, like sometimes you just need to be able to have some good questions chucked
Yeah.
at you
Bounce
about, well, how
ideas.
could you engage your community
Yeah.
in meaningful activities
Yeah, absolutely.
that would give a sense of purpose?
Yeah. Yeah.
That would be a really interesting question for my team. But most, if you look at, I don't know what it's like in the States or Australia, but I know in New Zealand, and it's probably the same everywhere, is that there's hundreds of thousands of charities starting all the time.
Yeah.
Someone's got a new idea of some need that needs to be met, and most of it's a handout, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Good, really well-meaning people.
Yeah.
But I think what you guys do is really unique in that sense of engaging them in the solution
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
in some way.
Yeah. It's a huge part of someone's recovery.
Yeah.
It's massive. It's seeing that the world's not all about you and your challenges as much as those challenges are real and they're hard.
Yeah.
As soon as you can see that the world has more than just those challenges.
Yeah.
All of a sudden your eyes open up to possibilities.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm guessing it's not everyone's cup of tea. As in you'll have people that really just want a handout.
Yep. Absolutely.
And so you're prepared to walk away from those people, or like what is it?
I think you have to be, unfortunately,
Yeah.
because there's so many people out there that do want to change their lives.
Yeah.
And we need to prioritise people that will take what we have to offer, I guess, and turn it into something great for their lives. And we're not hard and fast about that though.
Yeah.
With everything we do, like I said, it's about relationship, and we want to keep the door open.
Yeah.
So we're very kind about how we would tackle that.
Yeah.
So they always know that they can come back.
Yeah, right.
That this is what we can offer you, and this is how we can offer it to you.
Yeah.
And when you're ready, please come back.
Yeah,
so
that's really wise.
the door's never closed.
Yeah.
And sometimes it is just about timing.
Yeah.
But we're there, and they know our number. Like
Yeah,
they know how
yeah.
to find us.
That's so good.
Yeah.
So with all those spinning plates, Renee, what would you say? I just want you to pick on one challenge.
Yeah.
You've probably got 12 challenges going on at the moment. I know I have.
Yeah.
What are some of the bigger challenges you've had to face over the last sort of few months? And without giving away any confidences, just talk in terms that you're happy to talk about.
Yeah. I mean, I guess maybe this extends more than just a few months, so maybe to the last 12 months. But there was, a massive funding issue in New Zealand, particularly in the charitable sector.
Yes, that's right.
We've had a government change, and we've had obviously recession and lots of things that would contribute to that.
Yeah.
And so that's been a massive challenge for charities. There's been charities closing down all over New Zealand, which is a very sad thing when the need's increasing.
Yeah.
But I think that it's a healthy challenge as well. The future, I believe, of charities, and this is what we said earlier on, it's about all playing our part and not being reliant on the government, and knowing that it's all of our responsibility. But I think that as a charity, we need to then position ourselves in that same way.
Yeah.
So we've had to sort of change our funding structure quite substantially over the last 12 months, and we've looked at ways that we can be sustainable in our own right, so not reliant then on outside sources, because we know that what really creates impact is longevity in an organisation, and the building of that capacity over time, and that establishment. So and that's like we talked earlier about the firewood depot and how we've created an income source that way. We've increased our production substantially over the last year, so that we can not reduce what we're giving to homes in need, but just be able to sell publicly as well. And so that's basically created our own little social enterprise that's a direct funder of Good Neighbour.
So social enterprise that just reduces your need for funding. continues to sort of support the ministry. Yeah,
I think we've all got to sort of look at our charities and say what is it that we do that we could actually generate a funding source within it.
Nice.
Yeah.
And is that a burden, that funding burden, does that sit on you as the general manager, or have you got people you're able to take care of that?
That's probably, that would be a big part of my role.
Right,
that funding burden definitely sits on me. I have a backing of an incredible board who are very supportive and give me great advice and encouragement, which is great. But that funding role really does sit on me. I have people that help me sort of administratively in that space, but
I imagine your model, if I said to my team, my charitable team, we're going to engage the young ladies we work with in volunteer work. All sorts of, no, we can't do that, health and safety, there's mental health issues, how we're going to keep people safe. How do you handle that? Because I imagine most people will be like, nah, it's never going to happen.
Health and safety is massive. We just have to obviously be doing our very best at all times and have all the right processes and systems in place. We definitely are like a well-oiled machine in that regard. And so we obviously have to treat that with great attention. But at the same time, we have a very strong attitude of can do. And that is a big part of our culture. And so we'll usually find a way. And so I guess we're a positive team. And if we see a challenge, we sort of figure out a way around it. But you have to, if we let those things stop us, we will all be paralysed to help.
You must have health and safety policies and procedures and things that you do to keep everyone safe and functioning in some kind of orderly way.
And a big part, like we have 11 staff, and of those 11 staff, if you think about 300 volunteers, in terms of those ratios, you can see who's doing all the work. Like our volunteers are incredible. So I guess the job of majority of our staff really are facilitating the work of the volunteers. And so a big part of those kinds of roles is making sure all those measures are in place and that the volunteers are safe in doing what they're doing.
Renee, I think I might even get you to come and meet with our team, and one day when you have time. I think I think that would just be a really interesting conversation to have.
I'd love to.
Just in case the audience at this point is wondering why the heck we're talking about this, it's really interesting. A lot of the guys and girls listening are in the States, and the States is funny, man, because you're either a Democrat or a Republican. The Republicans are just cutting all the funding at the moment through USAID, and the Democrats want to see the community helped. And it's like there's no reasonable conversation in the middle. And I'm a funny individual because I'm. Like if I was in the US, I would be a Republican through and through, 100%. But there's no way I'm going to not be a part of my community. So I'm a little bit of maybe a unicorn in that from that perspective. But I know plenty of my clients are very consumer orientated, market community orientated, I was going to say. And that what I hope of this podcast is that they stop and go, you know what? Maybe there's not good neighbour here, but there will be something.
Yeah, absolutely.
And maybe I think I can help them by doing this, but maybe I should just find out what agencies are doing what and just see what I can do.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, if you can join in, like I said earlier, if you can join in with someone already doing the good work, like your impact's just so much greater. And so I think that it's fair. If you're a person who's been successful in business, you're going to want to know that your investment, if it's a financial investment, has gone to a organisation that is making good impact and is using it wisely. And that's important as well. I think there's
that part as well. Is if we're going to financially support something, are they doing a handout or are they actually helping people find purpose? I think it's a really good
I think
question.
it's important. I think there's only so much resource in this world. And so it's not just about giving. It's actually about making sure that with the resource that you have, are you giving it to a place that is using it wisely?
Yeah.
Because what I've seen, at the moment in a landscape sort of similar to what you're describing in the US, maybe to a smaller scale, but you're seeing some charities that are making really decent impact go without, and other charities who aren't
are getting lots.
And it's really hard to watch that situation unfold. So I would just say do your due diligence, ask the questions.
What questions? Say business is giving or wanting to give money into the community. What should they be asking?
Well, I mean, you can obviously talk about things like social return on investment. So some charities do. So that's for every dollar you give. How much impact is that dollar creating? So Good Neighbour has a outdated one. We need to do a new one because we've changed so much in the 4 years since it was established. But so for every dollar you give Good Neighbour, we have $4.50 return on that. So we generate $4.50 worth of impact in the community for every dollar. I think now we'd be probably hitting more like $8 just because of the changes we've made in the last 4 years. But we have to, that process is an expensive process to go down.
I bet.
But those kind of metrics are really helpful to determine where to put your money. And then, I mean, obviously, actually ask the question, what impact are you making? And how do you ensure that it's a sustainable impact? And that helps you to know if it's hand up, not hand out.
I think, I appreciate what you're saying, but getting to the heart of the issue of what does the hand up look like? How are you giving them purpose? I'm just trying to work out how I would frame that question if I was looking at charities. Because what you are doing is unique in the sense that you are engaging them in the solution to their own problems. I guess that I would probably just tell people to ask that question.
Well, and I think as well, like every charity has a different purpose and a different mission. And so we've obviously got a very diverse sort of range of offerings, and so we can sort of do that within our organisation. But there's organisations that might be very focused in on one particular challenge in the community. And so, but there's still ways to live out that philosophy of hand up, not hand out, and helping someone to find their own purpose. And often that's found even in collaboration. Are they the kind of organisation that if they've got someone that they're working with, are they willing to engage another support service to just ensure that those other things are being met if they can't meet it themselves? So it's not about whether the charities, we can't all do everything.
No.
We've all got our own lanes. But are we all working for the best of that person? And how do we work to the best of that person? Is it a collaborative approach, or is it the way our organisation's structured? So I think everyone can do that if it matters to you.
So what's next for Good Neighbour?
What's next for Good Neighbour is expansion. The reason for that is the needs growing, unfortunately.
Just in Tauranga? Or are you saying expansion into New Zealand? Or
I think two parts. So in terms of locally, yes, the need is growing across New Zealand, but locally we're obviously positioned in Western Bay of Plenty. And so we are in the process of expanding different parts of our operation in order to meet that need. So it's
the same functions but at a bigger scale? I see.
We're just trying to scale up what we do.
Nice.
And there's obviously a lot of efficiencies as well that we can generate through that process. And so just basically strengthen the things that we're already doing well. And be able to offer them at a larger scale. So we've expanded our rangatahi program. We've got a plan in place to do that over the next 4 years, significant expansion there. And same with our volunteer into employment program and our firewood depot and even in our food rescue and being able to rescue more food. So there's sort of expansion is kind of our thing at the moment. We're taking on a new facility so that will help us just to create more ways of bringing people together and helping bring education to the table and that kind of thing to actually change people's, ability to be sustainable in their own right. So expansion, but also, we would love to see good neighbours all over New Zealand.
Yeah.
We would love to see this be a part of other communities as well, because we're not the only part of New Zealand that needs someone to, just help out where there's need.
Yeah.
And there's not a lot of charities out there that are able to help that with those practical situations. So we'd love to, whether it's show others how to start it up in different parts of New Zealand, or have sort of, ongoing support to help them continue on. We'd love to see more community organisations that are bringing the community together to serve the community.
And when you think about that expansion, have you and the board gone, okay, is this something we want to own? Is this under our trust? Do we just want to help other people?
Yeah.
With show them how to do it.
Yeah.
Like
much conversation around that for sure.
Yeah.
I think bottom line for us, it's about helping people. So everything we do, we measure against that.
Yeah.
So if what it looks like to help people in a more meaningful way or more impactful way, is that we continue with some sort of support structure in place to help in that ongoing kind of closely knit way, or is it just about getting someone up and going and then showing them how and then clapping and cheering them on? I think it's for us, it's more about what's actually going to bring the most impact.
Results.
Yeah.
Man, I would say if there's people listening across New Zealand and the States and Australia, I bet you there's people thinking, man, there's got to be a need in our neighbourhood, our city. And you just think in most cities, food recovery, got to be durable.
Yeah.
Firewood, the wood recovery, that's probably a bit unique to the Port of Tauranga.
We've got the port there, but there's other ports
around.
sources as well. There's
exactly.
people chopping down trees everywhere.
All sorts of reasons. There's probably trees being chopped everywhere.
Yeah.
And the lawnmower thing, the cooking food. Those systems could be replicated so easy.
Absolutely.
So, they need to look up Good Neighbour. What's your website address, by the way?
goodneighbour.co.nz.
Goodneighbour.co.nz and talk to Renee. Because we need to do more of this stuff, eh? We need to stop thinking the government's got to do it.
Absolutely.
Because it's not, someone's got to do it.
Absolutely.
We're so disconnected, aren't we, from our community? Once upon a time we actually used to know what was going on. We used to meet in halls and knew what the family next door was struggling with, and now we have no idea.
Yeah. And it's even beyond just the disconnected with our sort of local neighbours, but disconnected from that wider community. And what we've found is, even by suburbs, we're so divided.
Yeah.
So often what can happen is that a lot of the resource is in one suburb and then a lot of the need is in another suburb. If we all just looked at our own backyards, we still wouldn't be helping the most vulnerable in our city. Yeah. So you need to bridge that gap.
And do you find that a struggle? Because I know with our charity, we've connected with a few other charities in Tauranga, because we're not in Tauranga. Mm-hmm. And there's definitely some silos, eh?
Yes, there is.
This is our area.
Yeah.
And it's almost driven from, if you're not in that area, you don't understand our area. You don't understand our family, our wider issues that have caused us to get to where we are. And maybe there's a whole lot of truth behind a lot of that stuff, but how have you guys, is it possible to break through that?
I think being there, we do every Friday, we do what we call In Your Street, and we'll turn up in a street. Yeah. And we will get out the barbecue, we'll have some music. Yeah. We bring different treats for people to munch on, and we have our projects trailer, so fill to the brim with lawnmowers, weed eaters, and stuff that people might need to use while we're out there. But the whole reason for doing that is so that we can be positioned to be able to actually listen, to build relationships, so that they see that we care, that we're genuine. Right. And just building that network, I guess, within the community, and just breaking down those divides. And I think that's really, really important is being present, of being out there.
Yeah.
You won't be able to help if you don't get out there.
No, that's awesome. So that, and by the way, if you can hear noises in the background, we've got a building site over there, and all we can hear is drills and hammers and stuff. So hopefully we can get rid of most of that sound. So my apologies if you can hear all these noises. So Renee, talking about the community and the ownership communities have for their own issues and being afraid to step on people's toes and stuff, and how else, let's talk about collaboration. How have you had to collaborate, or how do you collaborate to achieve the mission, I guess?
Yeah, I mean, food rescue is a massive thing.
Right.
And it's a lot of food. We're collected like last year was 662 tonnes of food.
762 tonnes.
Of food.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's a lot of food to then distribute.
Yeah.
So we do that by partnering with other charities.
Okay, yeah.
So for example, the community meals in our area,
Yeah.
we supply 90% of the food that they use to make those meals.
Got it.
So food rescue becomes a source for many charities to be able to do what they do.
Yeah.
And so that's obviously a huge part. But what that has done as well for us is it's broken down the walls.
Yeah.
Because it's like, hey, we are here to champion what you're doing.
Yeah.
And we are right behind what you're doing. You know, other food rescue organisations might want to sort of try and be the ones that get to deliver and get to choose where it goes. But we sort of try and operate in a more open-handed way.
Got it.
And I think that attitude gets picked up on by other charities when they sort of see that Good Neighbour's not trying to protect their patch, Good Neighbour's not in competition with them, that Good Neighbour are right behind them and champion them and love what they do. Yeah. Then it creates and fosters that collaboration.
Yeah, it does. And it provides just a much more hopeful feeling for everybody, because you're part of. You're then saying, we're behind you, and just come, let's be a part of it together.
Absolutely. And I think competition's a hard one, and I think like in business, obviously, there's a lot of reasons why competition exists.
Yes.
It's such a hard one, but I feel like if we can somehow break down even those divides, how do we team up? We're all in this world together. Like, what does it look like to actually be for each other? I know that's challenging in business. That's a challenging thought, but yeah,
I think that is a challenging thought. I know that as we become bigger and more known, that our competition gets more aggressive.
Yeah.
So it feels more like a war every day.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that I am almost consumed with making sure I'm winning that war.
Yeah. Yeah.
It sounds terrible.
Oh, but I understand that's business.
Yeah, it's business. So for those types of people out there that are like me, and you're so driven to grow and achieve and be, and it's a fight, but they also care, and they're wondering what to do next. What would you suggest to them?
Yeah.
In terms of engaging with their community.
In terms of engaging with the community. Okay. Well, I think that I love it when businesses sort of come to that moment of realisation that they've got a responsibility as a business in the community. I think and as individuals we have a responsibility, and as business owners we have a responsibility, and that's two different things.
Yes.
I'd also say to that as well, as a business owner, I think we can often hide behind our business, and that's where our charity comes from, but we're not actually giving from our own individual pocket.
True.
And I think a heart transformation is actually when we give out of our own hands, not just out of our business. So anyway, that's another side note.
I like that.
But I think the moment of realization that you have responsibility, that you're winning at that point.
Yeah.
And then it's just about, how do I engage? And that's looking around and, like we talked before, asking those questions of your local charities, seeing who's actually making a difference, and then partnering with them. And I think sometimes we can end up spreading ourselves very thinly. Yeah. I guess my recommendation probably would be to just sort of choose a few and focus on that. Yeah. Because I think if we spread ourselves thinly, often it's actually harder to make an impact. but what sparks your passion? What do you see in terms of the need out there that you just feel like, oh man, that's what I want to be about?
Yeah.
I think you need to be driven by passion too.
And do you think, like in the Good Neighbour, if the company said, hey, I've got a team of 10, 4, 6 people, we want to turn up, can we all engage into something meaningful? Do you think you would be able to engage with that business?
Absolutely, we do that a lot.
Okay, great.
We have team volunteering days for businesses. Where they'll all turn up and we've got some sort of project in store for them, and they work together and they get it done. And we love that because not everyone's retired. So not everyone has time during the day. So when a business releases their staff, they're actually also modelling to their staff like what it looks like to help the community. And the reality is that that these are the people that are actually the next retirees. So it's also keeping that idea of volunteering and alive in our community.
Yeah, it's so good. Well, Renee, I want to thank you for your time.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Really appreciate it. I wanted to, normally I'm talking with companies and that have products and services, but I wanted to do this with you because the That's Fire podcast is all about really cool and innovative things, and honestly that the fact that you're helping people find a way forwards and find a purpose, that's really cool. I mean, all of it's cool. And I know you probably won't do that successfully with everybody, but but that the fact that you're trying to help people be a part of their own problems and work and find a way forward, it's really exciting. Already mentioned your websites. People can go to goodneighbour.co.nz. You're in Tauranga, New Zealand, which is the North Island of New Zealand. But just reach out to your local organisation that's making a difference.
Absolutely.
I hope that this podcast might just challenge us all just to think a little bit in our busyness, just to how we can be a part of the communities that we live in. So thank you.
Absolutely. You're
Appreciate
absolutely welcome. It was great to be here.
Yeah, cheers.